Yuki Tsunoda's future outside of Red Bull seems more likely than ever. With recent statements from Marco and Alonso, it looks like a new chapter in Formula One might be unfolding. The future of Red Bull's lineup is shifting, and there's a strong possibility that we might see changes in the sister team, Aston Martin. Tsunoda's status within Red Bull has been clear for a while: 5 years in a support role, with no real chance of a promotion. Marco's words on the subject have made it clear Red Bull has already decided. So where does that leave to Tsunoda? Could Aston Martin be his next destination? This potential transfer is creating a lot of buzz, but it's not without its challenges. For one, there's been much debate about Lawson's promotion to Red Bull instead of Tsunoda. Although Marco admitted it was close, Lawson's versatility ultimately gave him the edge. That's bad news for Tsunoda, who has yet to drive a full season in Formula One. The situation is complicated even further when we consider Tsunoda's association with Honda. He is often seen as their protege, which can limit his appeal as a candidate for a Red Bull seat. But could Aston Martin offer him a fresh start? The Red Bull team has always been known for its commitment to nurturing homegrown talent, and this year, the focus seems to be shifting back to their academy. With the underperformance of Sergio Perez in 2024, it's clear that Red Bull is looking for a stronger contender in the future. Tsunoda's time with the team might be nearing its end, and there's a sense of inevitability to his departure. It's becoming clearer that Red Bull is ready to look beyond their current lineup, focusing on young talent from within their ranks. One of the names being floated as a potential replacement for Tsunoda at Racing Bulls is Arvid Lindblad. Marco has spoken highly of the young driver, even suggesting that Lindblad could be the next Max Verstappen. He's been performing exceptionally well, finishing in 4th place in last year's Formula 3 championship and making his way into Formula 2 with Campos Racing. But it's not just about raw talent. Marco's praise highlights Lindblad's speed and ability to perform under pressure. If things continue at this pace, Red Bull might be setting up a very young, very competitive lineup in the near future. Lindblad's promotion to Formula 2 marks a significant step in his career, and his journey through the Junior Series shows just how highly Red Bull values him. With a background that blends Swedish and Indian heritage, his unique combination of attributes, especially his speed, sets him apart. In one standout Formula 3 race, he made an incredible recovery, overtaking 10 or 14 drivers in a single lap and even won after starting from the back of the grid. But as impressive as that is, we've seen drivers with great promise in the lower tiers of racing before. The true test will come when they face the immense pressure of Formula One. The question now is whether Red Bull can trust their young prospects to perform at the highest level. Marco's confidence in Lindblad is clear, but we've all seen how quickly things can change in Formula One. The transition from the junior ranks to the main stage is often where raw speed and potential are tested like never before. Nevertheless, Red Bull's focus on youth and fresh talent seems set to continue, which leaves Tsunoda with few options inside the Red Bull family. As Tsunoda's chances with Red Bull continue to diminish, the future seems uncertain. However, there's one team where his prospects might be looking brighter: Aston Martin. Fernando Alonso, despite his impressive performances, has openly discussed his likely retirement after the 2026 season, which opens up a potential seat at Aston Martin. Given the investments that have been made into the team's development and infrastructure, it's not hard to see why Aston Martin would be looking to bring in a driver who can maximize their progress. Tsunoda, with his experience working alongside Honda, could be a valuable asset for the Silverstone team. Alonso's honesty about his career timeline is something we should take seriously. He has said that 2026 will likely be his final season in Formula One. With that in mind, the team will need to start planning for life after Alonso. While it's clear that Alonso is committed to Aston Martin's long-term goals, his age and inevitable retirement make it almost certain that they'll need a fresh face soon. Tsunoda, with his close ties to Honda and his experience in Formula One, could be the perfect candidate to fill that seat when the time comes. Alonso's situation isn't just about his age, it's also about how Aston Martin plans for the future. With the resources being poured into the team and their ambitious goals, it's crucial that they secure a driver who can not only handle the car, but also contribute to its development. Tsunoda fits that bill. His experience working with Honda could be invaluable as Aston Martin continues to build on their momentum. He's seen firsthand what it takes to develop a car and push it to its limits, and that knowledge could help the team reach new heights. The issue, however, is that one of Aston Martin's seats is essentially locked down as long as Lawrence Stroll remains the team's owner. Lance Stroll, despite his shortcomings, is unlikely to lose his seat anytime soon. That leaves the other seat up for grabs, and Tsunoda could be a great option. But this also brings up the uncomfortable truth for some Lance's seat is secure. Not necessarily due to his skill, but because of his connection to the team. If Aston Martin is serious about competing at the top, they may need to consider pairing Lance with a driver who can challenge for podiums and push the team forward. With all the developments surrounding Tsunoda's future, it's becoming clearer that his time at Red Bull may soon come to an end. Christian Horner's recent comments suggest that Tsunoda's role at Racing Bulls may not continue much longer, especially given the team's focus on promoting from within. While Tsunoda has had his moments, like outperforming Lawson in qualifying, the overall situation doesn't seem to be in his favor. Despite showing his worth, the reality is that Red Bull has other plans for the future, and Tsunoda doesn't fit into those plans anymore. This puts Tsunoda in a tough spot, but it also opens the door to new opportunities. His experience and connection with Honda could make him a valuable asset for another team looking to make progress. Aston Martin, with its focus on development and its potential to compete with the top teams, could be an ideal next step for him. As the team prepares for Alonso's eventual departure, Tsunoda's profile seems to match what they need: a driver who can extract the maximum from their car and help them compete at the highest level. Alonso's future at Aston Martin has a direct impact on the team's direction in the coming years. While Alonso continues to perform at an elite level, his retirement looms on the horizon, and Aston Martin will need a driver capable of continuing their momentum. This is where Tsunoda could play a crucial role. With the ongoing development of their car and the long-term investment being made by Aston Martin, a driver like Tsunoda could help bridge the gap between the current generation and the future. His experience, especially with Honda, could bring valuable insight into optimizing the car's performance. However, the reality of Tsunoda's situation is complicated. While Aston Martin may offer an exciting opportunity, there are still obstacles to overcome. His performance at Red Bull, while solid, hasn't been enough to secure a permanent spot in the main team. The lingering question is whether he can step up and perform at a higher level with a new team, one that's still building toward being a serious contender. Yet, this might be exactly what Tsunoda needs: a chance to prove himself without the shadow of Red Bull hanging over him. Aston Martin could be the fresh start that revitalizes his F1 career. With so many uncertainties surrounding Tsunoda's future at Red Bull, the need for a change is becoming inevitable. His contributions over the years, while valuable, haven't been enough to break through the wall of Red Bull's inner circle. As a result, his opportunities within the team have started to dwindle. If he's to secure a future in Formula One, Tsunoda needs to find a team that will truly value his abilities and give him the opportunity to grow. Aston Martin, with its ambitious plans and evolving lineup, could offer him just that. Alonso's eventual departure may create a seat for a new driver to take over, and Tsunoda's profile fits well with the direction the team is headed. His understanding of car development and the technical side of racing makes him a strong candidate for a team like Aston Martin, which is focused on growth and maximizing their potential. If Tsunoda can seize this opportunity, he may just find the success and recognition that has eluded him at Red Bull. However, the pressure will be on. Aston Martin will be expecting results, and Tsunoda will need to prove he can deliver. Looking ahead, the pressure on Tsunoda to make a successful transition will only grow. Moving to Aston Martin could be his best chance to carve out a legacy in Formula One. The team is on the rise, and with the right driver in place, they could challenge for podiums and potentially fight for championships in the future. Tsunoda's task will be to ensure he's that driver, someone who not only keeps up with the development of the car, but also contributes significantly to its growth. If he can demonstrate his skills in this new environment, it could mark a new chapter in his career. The road ahead may not be easy, but it offers Tsunoda a fresh start. He will have the opportunity to be part of a team that is no longer just an underdog but a serious contender. For a driver of his talent, this could be the breakthrough he needs. The future of Tsunoda outside of Red Bull is becoming clearer, and Aston Martin could be the place where he finally fulfills his potential and proves he belongs at the top level of Formula One.